Have you ever wondered what truly determines a happy old age? As we navigate the complexities of growing older, we often find ourselves grappling with societal expectations, personal relationships, and the realities of our financial future. In this video, we'll explore 7 key factors that play a crucial role in shaping a fulfilling life in our later years. You'll discover why letting go of comparisons can liberate your happiness and how saving wisely today can secure your peace of mind tomorrow. We'll also discuss the importance of building strong self-esteem and how living well alone can bring you true joy. Additionally, we'll dive into maintaining your physical health and posture, ensuring that you remain vibrant and active as you age. By the end of this video, you'll have actionable insights and strategies to not only enhance your well-being but also redefine what it means to live a fulfilling life in your golden years. Don't miss out on the wisdom that could transform your perspective on aging. Stay with us until the end. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 7 key factors that determine a happy old age. The first key factor is not comparing yourself to others. Comparing yourself to others is a fast track to heartache, especially as you reach your 50s and 60s when retirement is just around the corner. It's a habit that creeps into our lives so easily, fed by a culture that glorifies comparison. Society has a way of making us feel like we're always in competition, whether it's with our neighbors, relatives, or even strangers we barely know. The moment you start noticing the shiny new cars parked next door or hear about someone upgrading to a bigger house, it stirs this nagging feeling inside. And suddenly, you're questioning your worth and life choices, making it harder to enjoy the present. You may even begin to shy away from social gatherings or meeting friends, fearing judgment or feeling inadequate, which can lead to loneliness and isolation. What's even worse is when the what-if thoughts start creeping in, wondering why you didn't land that high-paying job that promised a plush retirement, or why you didn't invest in something sooner. These thoughts, while natural, can quickly turn toxic. They make you feel incompetent and feed into this growing sense of dissatisfaction, not just with yourself, but with the world around you. It's all too easy to get lost in a whirlwind of regret and frustration, asking yourself why you didn't make different choices earlier in life. And the temptation to make desperate decisions, jumping into risky investments or starting a business without any real interest, can feel overwhelming. But deep down, you know it's not the right time for these hasty moves. After all, by the time you reach your 50s, life has shifted. It's no longer the season to plant seeds, but rather the time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Yes, life expectancy has increased, but the years after 50 mark a significant turning point. It's a season of reflection and fulfillment, not frantic reinvention. It's important to remember that, even now, you can still embark on new adventures and take on fresh challenges, but you must do so with care. The energy and resilience you had in your youth might not be as strong, and the time to recover from failures is shorter. It's not about limiting yourself, but about being wise. Make sure your new pursuits align with your financial, physical, and emotional capacities. There's no shame in recognizing your limits. In fact, there's a deep wisdom in it. Most importantly, learn to appreciate where you are right now without the heavy burden of comparison. It's liberating to realize that your journey is yours alone. Even the wealthiest individuals in the world, billionaires who seem to have it all, feel a sense of inadequacy when they compare themselves to trillionaires. The cycle of comparison never ends. It's a never-satisfied beast that will always find a way to make you feel less. So why feed it? Instead, focus on embracing your accomplishments, big or small, and celebrate the unique path you've walked. This is the true key to happiness and contentment as you step into this new chapter of life. Second key factor: saving without waste. As you approach retirement, It's more crucial than ever to prioritize saving without falling into the trap of unnecessary waste. The reality is that if you don't start building up your savings now, you could face serious financial challenges down the road. It's a tough truth, but one that many people overlook until it's too late. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. During your working years, there's a comforting rhythm to having a steady income, knowing that you can cover your expenses. But once retirement hits, that steady income can vanish, and those expenses? They often stick around, or even grow. Think about the cost of your children's weddings or the increasing medical bills as you age. These are real, unavoidable costs that can quickly drain your finances if you're not prepared. If you find yourself in a position where your income has disappeared, you'll likely need to dip into your savings or assets to get by. And for many, that means considering something like a housing pension, using your home as collateral. But this decision comes with its own set of anxieties. You might hesitate, worrying about what will be left for your children. There's a deep, almost instinctual desire to pass down something tangible to the next generation, and it's understandable. But the truth is, if you can shift your mindset and release the guilt of not leaving behind a house or large inheritance, you can start enjoying your assets while you're still alive. Imagine the freedom of living without the burden of wondering what you'll leave behind. Instead, you can focus on how to make the most of your remaining years, creating a life filled with joy, experiences, and comfort. I know what you're probably thinking. What if I use up all my assets too soon? What if I outlive my savings? This is a common fear, but it's important to realize that using your assets wisely is not the same as wasting them. It's about finding that balance, living within your means, being frugal but not stingy, and letting go of the greed that so often comes with comparison. If you can do this, if you can live simply and with contentment, the odds are in your favor that you'll have enough to sustain you throughout your life. One of the best ways to ensure a fulfilling retirement is to stay active. Don't let retirement mark the end of your productive years. If you're able, finding a job that doesn't overstrain you but keeps you engaged is a great way to maintain not just a bit of income, but also your sense of purpose. It doesn't have to be a high-paying role. Sometimes, just the act of contributing, of having a reason to get up in the morning, is enough to bring joy and vitality into your life. Even the smallest of tasks can reinforce your self-worth in these later years, keeping feelings of isolation at bay. Ultimately, the key to financial security in old age isn't just about how much you save, but how you live. By focusing on mindful spending, staying active, and appreciating what you have rather than what you lack, you can enter this new chapter of life with peace and fulfillment. It's not about the numbers in your bank account. It's about the richness of your experiences and the wisdom to know what truly matters. The third key factor is letting go of attachment to children. There's a darkly humorous saying that circulates among the elderly, and though it may sound like a joke, the message it carries is chillingly real. It goes like this: elderly parents often meet their demise because of their children in one of 3 ways. Parents with large families are neglected as each child assumes the others will take care of them. Parents receive minimal support from children, leading them to suffer silently in their old age. Parents who give everything to their children find themselves destitute, starving, and abandoned. This unsettling joke holds a mirror up to the painful realities of parent-child relationships later in life, and it serves as a sobering warning. When parents become overly attached to the idea of passing down all their assets to their children, they often unwittingly create a toxic dynamic that brings unhappiness to both themselves and their children. It's time to release the notion that you must sacrifice everything to ensure your children's financial security, especially if it means jeopardizing your well-being. We've all heard the heartbreaking stories. Parents who gave their homes and savings to their children, only to be cast aside once they were no longer of use. These stories aren't just rare exceptions. They happen more often than we like to admit. The moment you sign away your assets out of fear of growing old or as a gesture of love, you may find that you've lost both your independence and your children's respect. As your resources dwindle, so too can your quality of life, leading to a retirement filled with regret and hardship. To avoid such painful scenarios, it's essential to set boundaries early. Make it clear to your children that they shouldn't expect an inheritance or financial handouts. By doing this, you not only protect yourself but also encourage your children to stand on their own 2 feet. Supporting your children through major life milestones, such as buying them homes or funding their weddings, may feel like an act of love, but in reality, it can stifle their independence. It's a poison disguised as kindness, preventing them from learning how to navigate life on their own. By allowing your children to become overly dependent on you, you create a situation where, when the money eventually runs out, they will feel burdened by the need to support you. What begins as an act of love and generosity can ultimately lead to a deep sense of betrayal on both sides. Parents who have poured their hearts, souls, and finances into their children often find themselves left with nothing. No money, no health, and tragically, no meaningful relationship with the very children they sacrificed everything for. To avoid this devastating outcome, it's crucial to set a clear timeline for when your financial support will end. For example, you might decide to help until your children graduate from college or get married, but beyond that, the responsibility should shift to them. This is not about being selfish. It's about ensuring that both you and your children can live independently and without unnecessary strain. If possible, converting your assets into a pension can be a wise choice. With a pension, you can secure a steady, reliable income that covers your living expenses for the rest of your life. This allows you to remain independent and in control of your financial destiny. Even if your children face financial struggles, offering them a lump sum of money isn't always the best solution. It can easily be squandered, leaving you and your children worse off. Instead, by maintaining control over your assets through a pension, you can ensure your security while offering support in a way that doesn't drain your resources. Ultimately, letting go of your attachment to passing down wealth to your children is one of the most liberating and loving things you can do for yourself and them. It allows them to grow into self-reliant adults and gives you the freedom to enjoy the fruits of your labor in your golden years, without fear of running out of resources or damaging the precious relationship you've built with your family. In doing so, you create a healthier, more balanced future for everyone involved. The fourth factor is knowing how to live well alone. As we grow older, it's essential to embrace the idea that it's perfectly okay not to have a large circle of friends. You don't need them in the same way you may have felt you did in your younger years. Old friendships can sometimes become burdensome, filled with expectations or discomfort that drain rather than uplift you. The truth is, you don't have to keep interacting with people who make you uncomfortable or bring negativity into your life. At the end of the day, we are all inherently solitary beings, and there's a deep, liberating truth in recognizing that you don't need to sacrifice your happiness for anyone else, not even your children. Life is too short to live it for others. The most fulfilling path is to live it for yourself. By prioritizing your joy and well-being, you can avoid the common regret many face in old age, the regret of having lived too much for others and too little for yourself. Learning how to enjoy your own company and finding ways to have fun by yourself is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself in your later years. What happens if you don't? You might end up clinging to others, leaning on those around you for emotional support, and possibly even becoming a burden to them. No one wants to feel like they're constantly bothering those around them, and by cultivating the ability to be content alone, you free yourself from that fear. It's also important to understand that as your relationships naturally decrease after the age of 60, this isn't something to be alarmed about. It's a sign that the people who truly matter, the ones who bring real value to your life, are the ones who remain. Often, this reduction in social circles happens without us even realizing it, but it's a beautiful filter that leaves only the most genuine connections. One of life's profound lessons is that loneliness should never push you into shallow, meaningless relationships. Just because you feel alone doesn't mean you should fill that void with just anyone. Some people fear solitude so deeply that they latch onto others out of desperation, but those relationships often leave them feeling even emptier. Loneliness cannot be filled by superficial connections. Instead, by spending time in solitude, reflecting on who you are, and embracing the quiet, you'll find that those feelings of loneliness slowly begin to dissipate. The whispers of isolation fade, and in their place comes a sense of deep satisfaction, an understanding that you are complete as you are. By learning to enjoy your own company, you develop an inner strength and independence that is truly empowering. You're no longer influenced by others' opinions or societal pressures. Instead, you cultivate your unique way of thinking and living. This leads to a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling life, one that feels uniquely your own. Even if you lose a spouse or other close companions, those who have mastered the art of being alone don't feel isolated. Instead, they maintain a wide network of loose connections with various people, like the local cafe owner, the staff at the community center, or a friendly face at the gym. These relationships may not be deeply emotional, but they provide a sense of belonging and become an important safety net as you navigate the complexities of aging. In old age, the present moment becomes more important than anything else. The people you meet today, the small joys you experience today, matter more than past regrets or future anxieties. Whether it's taking a leisurely walk with your dog, admiring the flowers blooming along the roadside, or watching children on their way to school, these little connections with the world around you are enough. They are small but significant, reminding you that you're still part of a larger community, still engaged with life in meaningful ways. Ultimately, learning how to live well alone is about finding peace within yourself and joy in the simple pleasures of life. It's about knowing that you are enough, just as you are, and that the richness of your existence doesn't depend on how many people you have around you, but on how deeply you connect with yourself. This is where true fulfillment lies. Fifth key factor: building and maintaining physical health. Everyone dreams of living a long life, but does longevity alone guarantee happiness? The answer lies not in how many years we live, but in the quality of those years. Consider the lives of two elderly individuals, Mr. Kim and Mr. Park. Mr. Kim lived to the impressive age of 100, but at 75, he was struck by a debilitating illness that left him bedridden for the last 25 years of his life. He spent those decades shuttling between his home and the hospital, unable to enjoy even the simplest pleasures of life. In contrast, Mr. Park lived until 87, but he remained active and healthy until the very end. He spent his days tending to his garden, growing lettuce and peppers as a hobby. He went on autumn trips to admire the changing leaves with his wife and friends, savoring every moment. So, whose life was truly happier and more fulfilling? Is it better to live a long life confined to a bed, or to live a slightly shorter one filled with joy, activity, and independence? Mr. Park's life demonstrates a crucial truth. It's not about how many years you live, but how well you live them. Longevity, without good health, can become a burden rather than a blessing. What truly matters is maintaining your physical health and vitality so that you can live each day to its fullest, even in your later years. This means prioritizing self-care, committing to regular exercise, eating a nutritious diet, and engaging in preventive health measures to protect your vitality. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. One of the most important shifts in mindset as we age is realizing that physical health is not just about avoiding illness, but about actively nurturing strength and mobility. It's easy to get caught up in the notion that weight loss should remain a lifelong goal. In our younger years, particularly in our 40s, 50s, and even early 60s, weight management is often focused on preventing conditions like metabolic syndrome, diabetes, and heart disease. But after the age of 60, this goal changes. As we age, our muscle mass naturally begins to decrease, a condition known as sarcopenia. Alongside this, our appetites often decline, leading to potential nutritional deficiencies. If you continue to prioritize weight loss without paying attention to maintaining muscle mass, you risk accelerating the physical decline that comes with age. The consequences of losing too much muscle can be severe. Sarcopenia can lead to frailty, reduced mobility, and increased dependence on others for basic tasks. Imagine spending the final decades of your life unable to move freely, relying on others for care because you lost too much muscle. That's why, rather than focusing on losing weight, It's more important to concentrate on maintaining or even increasing muscle mass as you age. You might wonder how to tell if your muscle mass has diminished too much. Here's a simple test. Form a circle with your thumb and index finger, and try to wrap it around the thickest part of your calf. If your fingers can't touch, your muscle mass is sufficient. However, if your fingers meet or overlap, you may be lacking muscle, and this is a sign that you need to take immediate action to prevent frailty. In your 60s, 70s, and beyond, having strong, muscular legs is one of the most critical factors in maintaining your independence. Our legs are the foundation of mobility, and without sufficient strength, simple tasks like walking, climbing stairs, or even standing up from a chair become difficult. This is why regular leg exercises and an adequate intake of protein are crucial to preserving your health in old age. You don't need to engage in extreme workouts. Regular, moderate exercise tailored to your physical condition and age is enough to keep you healthy. The key is to find activities that raise your heart rate slightly and leave you feeling just a little out of breath. Walking is one of the easiest and most effective exercises you can do. Incorporating small movements into your daily routine can make a big difference over time. For instance, you might choose to get off the subway one stop early and walk the rest of the way home, or take the stairs instead of the elevator whenever possible. These little habits, when done consistently, build the foundation for a healthier, more active life. It's tempting to think that once you retire, you'll finally have time to dedicate to exercise. But the truth is, you should start building up your physical strength now. Don't wait until you're older to begin taking care of your body. By starting today, you can ensure that your muscles and stamina are strong enough to support you through the next 20, 30, or even 50 years. Maintaining physical health also involves a shift in the way we approach aging. It's important to let go of the idea that aging inevitably means slowing down. Of course, you need to listen to your body and adjust your activities accordingly, but that doesn't mean you stop moving altogether. Staying active is one of the best ways to prolong your independence. Even in your 90s, you should be aiming to walk, enjoy good food, and engage in the activities that bring you joy. By focusing on building muscle and maintaining physical activity, you set yourself up to live well, no matter your age. Building and maintaining physical health in your later years is not just about extending life, it's about enhancing the quality of that life. You deserve to spend your golden years enjoying the fruits of your labor, not lying in a hospital bed. By committing to regular exercise, eating well, and taking care of your body, you can ensure that you live a life that is active, independent, and fulfilling. Start today, and your future self will thank you. Sixth key factor: maintaining good posture. Good posture may seem like a small thing, but it plays an incredibly important role in determining whether your old age is happy and healthy, or painful and uncomfortable. Many people, without even realizing it, develop poor posture over the years, whether it's a hunched back, bent knees, or a crooked spine. This often happens because of the way we sit, stand, and carry ourselves throughout our lives. Even if you're committed to staying active, walking or running for your health, bad posture can sabotage those efforts, putting unnecessary strain on your knees, back, and neck. Over time, this strain can wear down your joints, reduce your range of motion, and lead to chronic pain that limits your ability to move freely. That's why paying attention to your posture every day is essential for maintaining both your physical health and your sense of well-being. What exactly does good posture look like? When viewed from the side, a healthy posture shows your spine and neck forming gentle, natural curves. These curves help distribute the weight and pressure your body experiences, keeping your muscles and joints functioning properly. To check your posture, stand in front of a full-length mirror and take a close look at yourself from both the front and the side. Do your shoulders slouch forward? Is your head tilted too far down or back? You can also try standing with your back against a wall. If the back of your head and your upper back don't naturally touch the wall when you stand straight, it's a sign that your posture is leaning forward, a common problem that can worsen over time if left unaddressed. One of the main causes of bad posture is muscle weakness, particularly in the core muscles that support your spine. Years of carrying a heavy bag on one shoulder or crossing your legs in the same direction while sitting can create imbalances in your muscles, pulling your body out of alignment. These habits may seem harmless in the moment, but over time they lead to poor posture that can be difficult to correct. The good news is that it's never too late to start making improvements. Take time throughout the day to consciously check your posture, especially when sitting, standing, or walking. Small adjustments, such as switching which shoulder you carry your bag on, uncrossing your legs, or sitting with your back fully supported, can make a big difference in your long-term health. Good posture doesn't just affect how you feel physically, it can also dramatically improve your appearance. There's a reason why people with upright posture are often seen as more vibrant, confident, and even younger. When you stand tall with your shoulders back and your head held high, you project an image of strength and vitality. People who manage to retain their charm and attractiveness as they age almost always have two things in common. They maintain a healthy weight and they carry themselves with good posture. An upright, balanced posture makes you look not only healthier but also more engaged with life. The benefits of good posture extend beyond the physical, influencing your mental and emotional well-being as well. Correct posture can positively affect your mindset, making you feel more proactive and optimistic. When you stand up straight, puff out your chest slightly, and engage your core muscles, you not only look more confident, you feel more confident too. Maintaining slight tension in your abdominal muscles throughout the day can also help you avoid slouching, which is a common cause of low energy and poor mood. When you carry yourself with purpose and pride, it's easier to face the day with motivation and enthusiasm. One mistake many people make is focusing on exercising briefly but then spending the rest of the day hunched over their desks or slouching in a chair. While exercise is important, the posture you maintain throughout the day matters just as much. Try to make good posture a habit in every aspect of your life. When you're sitting, keep your feet flat on the floor, your back straight, and your shoulders relaxed but not rounded forward. When standing or walking, hold your head up, engage your core, and move with purpose. These small actions may seem insignificant, but they add up over time, helping you to live with more energy, vitality, and confidence. As you age, maintaining good posture becomes even more crucial. It's not just about preventing pain or discomfort. It's about preserving your ability to move freely, stay independent, and live your life to the fullest. Poor posture, if left unchecked, can lead to serious problems like chronic back pain, limited mobility, and even falls, one of the leading causes of injury in older adults. But with conscious effort and small, consistent adjustments, you can protect your body, improve your quality of life, and enjoy the benefits of good posture well into your golden years. Seventh key factor: letting go of the past. The seventh key factor that determines a happy or unhappy old age is learning to let go of the past and realizing that it's okay to forget certain things. Have you ever heard of the Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule? It suggests that 80% of results come from just 20% of efforts, and this principle can apply to how we live our lives as well. Think about an ant colony. Only 20% of the ants work tirelessly, gathering food for the entire colony, while the other 80% remain inactive. But when those hard-working ants become exhausted, the inactive ants step up and take over the work. Life is very much the same. There are key elements that make up the core of who we are: our values, our relationships, our passions, and these make up the important 20%. The rest, the 80%, are things we can afford to let go of without much consequence. As we age, it becomes clear that many of the things we once thought were essential, expensive meals at fancy restaurants, flashy cars, or luxurious homes, are not what truly matters in the grand scheme of things. These are the 80% we can forget. Yes, they may have brought us fleeting joy or a sense of accomplishment at one point, but they are not the foundation of a fulfilling life. The real joy, the real meaning, comes from simpler moments. Sharing a meal with family, having the strength and independence to walk to the places you love, sitting quietly with a good book, or listening to your favorite music. These are the moments that make up the precious 20% of life, the things that truly matter and deserve our focus. As we move into our 60s and beyond, applying the Pareto principle to our lives can be transformative. This stage of life should not be about clinging to everything we've ever done or owned. It's about narrowing down our focus to what counts. The later years of life are often seen as a time of decline, but in reality, they can be a period of freedom and discovery. This is the time to step back from the demands of work, the pressure of societal expectations, and even the idea that you must do everything perfectly. It's a time to help your children become independent and gracefully step away from the front lines of the world. With your accumulated experiences and wisdom, you now have the luxury of finding your answers to life's questions, without needing to follow anyone else's path. In this way, the latter part of life offers a unique kind of freedom that you couldn't fully experience in your youth. To fully enjoy this time of life, you must let go of the tension and stress that come from holding on to the past. Be willing to forgive yourself for mistakes you've made, and forgive others who may have hurt you. Carrying the weight of old grudges or regrets only serves to pull you down. It's important to develop a generous heart, one that is kind to yourself and to others. When something happens that wounds you, practice forgiving that person. And when you stumble or make a mistake, forgive yourself again. Laughter, especially when shared with others, can also be a powerful tool for healing and moving forward. If you can look back on the difficulties of life and laugh, you've truly learned to let go. Another critical aspect of letting go of the past is not overthinking happiness. Ironically, the more you obsess over what happiness is or how to achieve it, the more elusive it becomes. Happiness isn't something to chase after with deep contemplation and complicated strategies. It's something that often arrives in small, everyday moments, if we're open to them. Too much thinking can lead to missing out on these small joys. Simple physical movement can do wonders for your mental and emotional state. Exercise naturally raises your body temperature and releases serotonin and dopamine, the chemicals in your brain that promote happiness. Something as basic as a walk can lift your spirits. The key to preparing for a satisfying old age is straightforward. Confidently let go of the unnecessary, stay physically active, and focus on building strength. Strength, particularly in your legs, is symbolic not just of physical health but of your ability to keep moving forward in life. Yet, despite the simple truth of this approach, many people reach the end of their lives with regret. What do people regret most when they are close to death? A nurse who spent years caring for patients in hospice once asked them this very question, and their answers were strikingly similar. The number one regret they shared? Not living the life they truly wanted. So many people spend their lives trying to meet the expectations of others, parents, children, bosses, society at large, that they forget to live for themselves. They waste their precious years trying to please others, only to realize too late that they never pursued their dreams. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. It's easy to fall into this trap. Think about how much time we spend waiting for happiness. We look forward to lunch during the workday, and then to leaving work at the end of the day. We count down the days to the weekend, and then from one holiday to the next. We anticipate vacations, and then eventually, we start looking forward to retirement. We're always waiting for that next break, that next moment of peace and joy. But by the time we retire, many people find that they spent their whole lives waiting for happiness without ever truly enjoying the present. They realize too late that they've missed out on the simple, everyday moments that make life rich and meaningful. To avoid this fate, it's essential to stop living for the expectations of others and to start embracing the life that brings you true joy. Focus on the moments that make you feel alive. The conversations with loved ones, the quiet walks in nature, the satisfaction of doing something you love. These are the moments you'll cherish in your later years, not the material things or the approval of others. Letting go of the past, and the unnecessary baggage that comes with it, is the key to unlocking a fulfilling and happy old age. Secondly, they regretted not choosing happiness for themselves. This is perhaps one of the most profound realizations people have at the end of their lives, that happiness is, and always has been, a matter of choice. People often come to this conclusion too late, recognizing that they had the power to choose happiness all along but let it slip by, overshadowed by life's demands, societal expectations, or the pursuit of things that ultimately did not bring joy. You must actively decide to surround yourself with people who bring you joy, engage in activities that make you happy, and adopt a mindset of gratitude and positivity. Happiness doesn't just happen by chance. It's something you create by the choices you make every day. One of the most important ways to cultivate happiness is by managing your health carefully because, without good health, it's difficult to enjoy the life you've built. Another crucial step is nurturing gratitude for the simple, everyday things you have now. The two most important words in life are here and now. The present moment is all we truly have, and it's in these moments that happiness is found. For example, think about how incredible it is to see the sunrise in the morning and the stars light up the night sky. The joy of feeling the warmth of sunlight on your skin after a good night's rest, or the deep emotions of love, sadness, or empathy for others. These are the experiences that make life rich and meaningful. Even if you've reached a point in life where you walk with a cane or need assistance, you can still find joy. If you can empathize with others' pain, appreciate the changing seasons, or simply go for a quiet walk, there's much to be grateful for. The true joy in life comes from being able to laugh, talk, and share moments with the people who are precious to you, right here and now. As we grow older, it's said that we should look down, not up, meaning we should focus on what we have now, rather than what we don't. Life becomes infinitely more fulfilling when we stop chasing after the things we lack and start appreciating the abundance that's already in our lives. Many elderly people reflect on their lives and realize, often with a touch of regret, that the times they once took for granted were the best times of their lives. It's common to think that we need to experience suffering to truly understand happiness, but in reality, happiness was always present. We just didn't recognize it. There's a story of an elderly man in his 90s who, after losing his wife, reflected on how he had taken her presence for granted. He said, "When my wife was by my side, I didn't realize it, but now that she's gone, it feels like one of my chopsticks is missing." His words remind us that the people we love and the small, everyday moments we share with them are the true sources of happiness. Time flows continuously like a river, carrying us ever closer to our final destination. Each day brings us closer to the end of our journey, and it's essential to reflect on whether we are living according to our desires or wasting time trying to meet others' expectations. Are you living the life you truly want, or are you missing out on precious moments with family and friends because you're too caught up in the opinions of others? Happiness isn't found in the distant future or some far-off place. It's right here, within your heart, in this very moment. It's up to you to recognize it and embrace it. The time and space to feel happiness, and the people to share it with, aren't somewhere else. They are right in front of you. Everyone desires a joyful and fulfilling life. But as we age, it becomes clear that the people who truly enjoy life are those who can find joy even in difficult situations. They've learned the art of making each moment count, of finding beauty in the everyday. Enlightened individuals often say that we shouldn't worry about the past or the future, but instead, we should fully immerse ourselves in the present. Yet, most people let excuses get in the way, whether it's being too busy, too tired, or feeling awkward about it, and as a result, they miss out on the simple pleasures that life offers. Aging doesn't have to be something we fear. While it's natural to feel a bit anxious about growing older, making a commitment to live happily until the very end can dramatically transform your experience of aging. Joy in old age doesn't come unless you actively choose to seek it out. You need to maintain your health to fully enjoy the world, your family, and your friends. May your days be filled with happiness, and may you live a long, healthy, and joyful life. Before concluding, let me share a touching story from a wealthy old man who moved many hearts and offered a profound lesson. In a letter to his friends, he wrote, "You are probably having a busy day today, but no matter how hectic your schedule is, always make time to eat your meals. As I look back on my life, I realize that the phone I bought with extra money only used 70% of its capabilities. The expensive car I drove only gave me 70% of its potential. My luxurious home? It remained 70% empty most of the time. And 70% of the clothes I bought went unworn. Life is much like a stadium. In the first half, we chase after education, power, and wealth, thinking that accumulating more and more is the path to victory. But the second half of the game is different. If things go wrong in the first half, we're unable to fully enjoy the second half. He continued, looking back, I should have taken a break during the middle of the game, but instead, I lived recklessly, always looking forward, never resting. Now, those moments are just bitter memories. So to my friends who are still healthy, even if you aren't ill, take the time to rest. Don't be so fixated on luxury beverages. Drink plenty of water. When life throws challenges your way, shake them off and keep going. Live generously. It's not such a bad way to live. Don't be arrogant if you have money and power, and be content with the small things, even if you don't. Learn to rest even when you're not doing anything at all, and no matter how busy life gets, keep moving your body. Exercise is essential. His wisdom reminds us that the most valuable things in life are not material possessions or achievements, but health, rest, gratitude, and the ability to enjoy simple pleasures. Let go of the need for excess and appreciate the beauty of what you already have. Time moves forward, and the present moment is fleeting. Choose happiness, and make every moment count. A 500,000 garment is proven valuable by the price on its tag, a 100 million car is validated by its receipt, and a 2 billion house holds its worth through its ownership documents. But what truly proves a person's worth? Do you know? The answer is simple yet profound. It's a healthy body. Without health, all the material wealth in the world loses its meaning. You shouldn't measure or limit the money you spend on your health, because while you're healthy, your money is an asset that can help you enjoy life. But once you fall ill and find yourself confined to a hospital bed, that same money transforms into nothing more than an inheritance for someone else. It can no longer bring you happiness or vitality. It becomes a cold reminder of what you have lost. The world is filled with people who will fight for you, lawyers and financial experts who can help you accumulate wealth, and advisors who can show you how to earn more. But no one will ever suffer your pain for you. No one will endure your illness or the physical toll of poor health on your behalf. If you lose money, you can work hard to earn it back or replace lost items by purchasing them again. But your life, your health, these are irreplaceable. No amount of money or power can buy them back once they are lost. Having come this far, what real use is money? When you die, someone else will live in your luxurious villa, and the keys to your expensive high-end car will pass into someone else's hands. All those things you once took pride in, the wealth, the status, the luxury, will no longer belong to you. What did greed for wealth turn me into? It turned me into a man who clung to money for too long, only to realize that in the end, the very things I once pursued with passion had become burdens. Wealth, power, status, these are now chains that weigh me down rather than lift me. For those who are in the first half of life's game, don't live too desperately. Don't spend every moment striving for more wealth, more success, or more status, thinking that these things will bring you happiness. And for those of us in the second half of the game, remember, the game isn't over yet. There's still time to enjoy life and to find meaning in the small, simple joys around you. For a truly happy final chapter, start by loving yourself, by caring for your body and your spirit. I speak from personal experience. I, who once achieved shining victories in the first half of the game, now find myself lying in a hospital room, unable to overcome illness. No matter how luxurious the facilities are, they don't bring me comfort. I now long for the simple beauty of a shabby rural path more than I do for the modern luxuries of the city. I finally realized that everything I built up in the first half of my life, the wealth, the power, cannot be fully enjoyed in the second half. There was a break in the middle of the game, a chance to pause, reflect, and take care of myself, but I missed it. I lived recklessly, always looking ahead, never allowing myself to stop and rest. And now, those days are nothing but bitter memories. To my friends who are still healthy, still blessed with the ability to move, to laugh, to live without significant ailments, don't hesitate to rest, even if you're not sick. Don't let life become a race that you forget to enjoy. Don't just love beverages or indulge in the excesses of life. Drink plenty of water. And when you find yourself burdened with stress or distress, shake it off. Learn to compromise, let go of perfection, and live a life that's about giving and kindness. It's not a bad way to live. Don't be arrogant, even if you have wealth and power. And if you're not wealthy, find contentment in the small things. Know how to rest even when you're doing nothing, and no matter how busy life gets, keep moving, keep exercising, and keep taking care of your body. You can replace material items when they're lost. You can earn back money if you lose it. But your life, your health, cannot be replaced. When the end comes, no amount of wealth will matter. Someone else will take over your luxurious home and your expensive possessions, and the life you thought you were building for yourself will no longer be yours. What is the use of all that money when it becomes nothing more than an inheritance? To those living in the first half of life, don't live so desperately. Learn to enjoy the journey. And to those of us in the second half, know that the game isn't over yet. There's still time to love yourself, to care for your health, and to find happiness in the present moment. In closing, I want to share a final thought. I, who once achieved so much in the first half of my life, now lie in a hospital room, unable to conquer the illness that has taken hold of me. Even with all the modern comforts around me, I find myself yearning for the simple joys I once ignored. The things I built up in my youth cannot be fully enjoyed now, and I regret not taking time to rest during the pauses life offered me. Now, those missed moments are nothing more than bitter memories. So, to my friends who are still healthy and full of life, don't hesitate to rest, even if you feel fine. Don't just indulge in pleasures. Drink water and take care of yourself. Shake off your worries and live a life of generosity and peace. Be humble, even if you've achieved great things. Find joy in the small, simple moments, and never stop moving. Never stop caring for your body and mind. The greatest wealth you can ever have is a healthy life. Cherish it, because once it's gone, no amount of money can buy it back. You can always replace lost items, buy them again, search for them, or even create something new. But the one thing you can never replace, no matter how much wealth or power you possess, is your life. As I've come this far in life, I'm left wondering, what is the true value of all the money I accumulated? When I die, someone else will live in the luxurious villa I once called home. Someone else will hold the keys to the high-end car I once drove with pride. All the things I worked so hard to gain, all the wealth, status, and power that I once believed defined my success, are now nothing more than burdens. Greed for wealth didn't make me happier. It turned me into a man who missed out on the true joys of life. To those who are in the first half of life's game, don't live too desperately. Don't rush through life thinking that accumulating more money or possessions will bring you fulfillment. And for those of us in the second half of life, remember, the game isn't over yet. There's still time to enjoy the journey, to make your final chapter a happy one. Start loving yourself today. Start taking care of your body and your heart. It's not too late. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. I speak to you from a place of reflection. I, who achieved so many victories in the first half of my life, now find myself lying in a hospital bed, waiting for the end, unable to conquer the illness that has overtaken me. No matter how luxurious the facilities are around me, I long for the simplicity of a walk down a rural path. In the end, all the wealth and success I built up during my younger years can't bring me comfort now. I missed the opportunities to pause, to rest, to truly enjoy life as it unfolded. I was always looking ahead, always striving for more, and now, those days are bitter memories of things I can never go back to. To my friends who are still healthy, who still have the gift of vitality, Don't wait until you're ill to rest. Don't wait until life forces you to slow down. Lie down even when you're not sick. Drink water instead of constantly seeking pleasure in indulgent drinks. And when life gets tough, and it will, shake it off, find a way to compromise and live a life of giving and kindness. There's nothing wrong with living this way. It's a good life to live. Don't be arrogant, even if you've achieved wealth and power. These things are fleeting. And if you don't have much, don't despair. Find contentment in the small, simple things around you. Learn how to rest, even when you're not busy, even when there's nothing on your to-do list. And no matter how hectic life gets, don't stop moving. Keep exercising and keep taking care of your body, because a healthy body is the greatest wealth you can ever possess. In the end, the things we accumulate, our money and our possessions, don't define us. What matters most is the way we live, the way we care for ourselves and others, and the joy we find in the moments we often overlook. The second half of life is still a game worth playing, and it's up to you to make it a happy one. Thank you for joining us today. We've explored some important reflections on life, health, and happiness, especially as we move through the different stages of our journey. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What have you learned so far? What's one thing from today's discussion that resonated with you and that you plan to bring into practice in your own life? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your reflections could inspire someone else to live more mindfully and joyfully. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a comment below, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more inspiring content. Thank you again for watching, and remember, the best time to start living well is right now.